Testing, 1, 2, 3. I'm a little bit early, guys, so let me know if you hear me okay. Let me know in the room. Connie, Jonathan, good morning, guys. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Okay, let's share the screen. Screen 2, share. All right, looking good. I wonder, hang on just 1 second. I wonder if this makes any difference in the world. Let me just try this, just 1 sec. Tell me if you guys like this better. Background to white and scales text to black. Say okay. Is that better than the gray background? What do you guys think? Hey, Shubash. You guys like this? You guys like the look of this better, or the gray background was better, was sharper? What do you think? This is better? Okay. All right. So I gotta publish this out, but I will publish it out. And I think we're gonna do this again the same way. I'm gonna publish it as a secret link. This is flyaway reverse, right? This is only reverse signals. I mean, it's arrow, it's reverse only. You guys actually have this in MT4. I just modified this for TradingView because it is so interesting. It is so interesting with everything that we've been doing, because I went back. It wasn't Connie, it was Karen, actually. Karen had like triggered a thought in my head about the reverse, the pure reverse EA. She said it was doing really well. And I kind of fired it up last night, fooled around with it, did a whole bunch of different permutations, and realized that actually, if we combine everything we've been talking about this week with the reverse levels, we may actually have a very viable algo trading version of our scalping system that is not only good, but has the kind of R&R value that an algo needs to have, because there is no way you could run an algo on like a 520 stop basis. It's just that requires lots of discretionary judgment to have any realistic edge. But let me just kind of show you what I came to the conclusion with after running lots. I think around about 20-30 different trades through this thing on various ideas, and this is what kind of worked so well. So this is just, remember, reverse signals are the best, right? Reverse signals are the best because a change of the reverse signal within trend is the reestablishment of trend every after people try to reverse the trend. So the possibility of trend continuing becomes much stronger, right? So that's why reverse only EA is such a good variant, right? But, and this is where it gets really cool. To me, the reverse signal that is truly the best of all best is the first. I mean, if you think about this, you're looking at the charts, right? The whole methodology of the structure is that there is opening of trend and trend continuation. We don't know how much trend continuation we have, but we have high confidence that once trend is established, we generally have more continuation than not, meaning that there is, let's say, I don't know, 50, 60, 70% of the time, we have some continuation, right? Some continuation. And this is why the first signal is always the best, because that is really the essence of yes or no, is there going to be continuation? Now, the algo executes it in a traditional way, which is it looks for the break of the lows, takes that, and then runs with it. This, for example, actually did not take it because the volatility filter came in, right? But what if we added, and it's fine, it was actually working pretty well. It's on my other computer, so I can't show you, but it ran like I ran like overnight. There were literally like 5 or 6 consecutive winners in a row. Just purely taking that approach, because you can see that there is, you can just visually see that the first signal almost always has some continuity, and that's the critical thing. As long as you have some continuity, like this one does not, this is the only one doesn't, but this one does, this one does, this one does, this one does. We can ignore the opening range because that's obviously we would never trade. This is the reason why we don't trade the first half hour, because so much volatility that you're wrong even if you're right. Right? So, you see it visually, but what if we added the variant? And this is what I'm going to try and get Daniel to do, the buy sell variant. In other words, what if here's the reversal signal, and instead of coming in on the break of the lows, we just come in on the first red. The first red in a buy reverse, or the first green in a sell reverse, is incredibly powerful, right? Incredibly powerful trade. And it generally puts us in a much better position than waiting for the break of the lows, the break of the highs. And then what if we just wanted to go one extra step and said, okay, in order to really feel confident that we have momentum on our side, what if we say, okay, it's got to be first red after the green, and it also has to have its high lower than the moving average, or like in this case, for example, where we have here's the sell reversal, here's the green, the low is not lower than the moving average. Then we actually wait. The algo will wait and only enter if you get a green that has a low higher than the moving average. So we just enter on this particular candle, right? So if we combine all of these properties that we know have been working super, super well, we have like a very, very, very powerful automated strategy, which you could make actually semi-automated. You could shut it down for market open. You could do all sorts of stuff. You don't have to trade it during Asia time. But all you really need to make money on a literally very consistent manner is just some direction on the start of trend. Because somewhere around the start of trend, you're going to get a reference point, and that reference point is going to let's just sort of take our whole methodology. Here's the reference point. We don't take this red because it's the high is above the moving average. We don't take this red, it's high as the moving average. We enter on this red, right? We enter on this red, huge amount of downside movement. And let's say we just, restrain ourselves to only one trade, even though there's more trades to be taken. But let's just say we restrain the algos, and then we turn around, and here we have now a reversal of this move. So we have a reference point here. Here's the green. This gets you in a little bit early, but it doesn't matter. Here's the green. You're coming in, you have a little bit of slippage, like maybe, 21 to, not even 10 points, right? And then boom, it explodes. It explodes higher. So here's a buy reversal. The red is clearly below the moving average. You're coming in over here. You catch the whole flush. Now, what's very, very cool about this, by the way, first of all, is that the algo is managing the trade, so you really don't have to watch it. Secondly, this is a very feasible strategy to trade on a 15-20 basis, meaning 15 target 20 stop. I was running it on a 520 just in real market conditions, real market money, just to see how far it went. And literally in every case, it went to 20 plus. There was maybe 1 or 2 cases where it went like 16, 17 plus. So in order to capture as much of the probability curve as possible, I said, you know what? If I'm trading 15-20, meaning like, it's basically 1.5 to 1 inverse or risk reward ratio. So I'm risking 1.5 to make 1. I really don't need to be more than 55, 60% accurate. And I'm running like at least 60 to 70, I'm running at least 70% accurate. And if I constrain to the first signal and I constrain myself to just the most liquid hours of the day, I have a reasonable chance that I could maintain that 70% accuracy. Then you have a very, very positive edge. All of it really, really auto managed, in one way or another. So, to me, this is like really, really interesting because I am very excited because I think a lot of the stuff that we learned from pure manual scalping can now be applied as sort of best of best knowledge and put into codified into an idea, and therefore possibly create a much easier way for us to trade, because this will remove the need to constantly watch the market on how does it do in a flatter market. Yeah, so that's the key thing, Jonathan. Of course, this is the kind of market that it just simply does terribly in, right? But here's the thing: in this kind of a market, this kind of a market, you wouldn't execute because the critical variable that we want is in this case, you would get stuffed only on one. So there's like 3 false signals here. Or maybe let me take it back. Maybe not. So this is a signal that would get taken right at 7:49 right here. So this is 67. You're coming in at 67, right? And you're trading 15-20. The most important thing that I realized is that you do need that 20. You need a whole 20 points just to escape the overflows in a tight market. So if I'm coming in at 67, the top here is I believe about 85. I managed to survive the stop, but here's the thing: it doesn't really go down much. Well, maybe it does. It actually does go to 15. It goes to 52, which is plus 15. So it makes a massive, massive arc, but it kind of survives in literally the worst kind of a condition. There are 2 types of conditions where it will do very poorly. This kind of a slow condition, like a flat market or a V-shaped market. But the beautiful thing about the V-shaped market is that if we get a V-shaped market, we're generally not going to trigger. If it goes green, it's going to go green next, and it's just not going to trigger our trade. By the way, look at the holy cow! Look at the unwind. I can't even. There's no even reference points here to establish that the trend has just been such. It's this kind of volatility is too much for us. And the good thing is, we don't even have reference points here to trade against. I mean, you could have just gone, momentum sell. But the problem with doing momentum sells is you just never know when this stops and pushes you right back up. So it works great while you're riding this massive sell-off. But unless you have some reason for why you think the sell-off continues, although this is a pretty good reason. Look at the 10-year. 10 years now 46. It was 45 just an hour ago. I mean, that's really what's happening. You have huge possible short covering retraces here if it doesn't go. Although it looks like it feels like we're going to go to 1300 any time. The point being is, yes, you will find yourself that you cannot escape negative regimes, but because you're trading with a 1.5 to 1 R&R, your damage during the chop is, assuming you only, let's say, take one bad chop trade, and then all you need is you just basically need 2 mildly trending trades to offset one chop trade, right? And so that puts you already in a very, very favorable position, as long as you can find any trend continuation, in the marketplace. Even something as relatively mild like this, where you're coming in at 74, right? 74, right? Sorry, we're at 74 over here. You see that? All I need is 15 points, so I basically need just 60, and it comes down over here to 57. So it makes the full 15 points, no retrace, and and I'm done. All I need is just 15 points of slice at the opening of trend 2 out of 3 times. And sometimes I can get him maybe 3 out of 4. Sometimes I can get him 4 out of 4. Sometimes I can get him 5 out of 5 if I have nice, clean, definitive momentum moves, right? Then I can capture huge amount of pips relatively stress-free. So that's the broad general idea that comes out of a lot of very, very specific scalping stuff that we've done. And again, I just wanted to lay it out in front of you. I'm going to be working on we don't need to modify the algo much, but we will try to modify it. And Krasi, are you in the room? Is Krasi in the room? Let me see who's in the room here today. Where's Krasi? Maybe Krasi's not here today. Oh yeah, he's in the room. Yeah. So the other thing is Krasi asked me to do a trailing stop. We'll do that also. I'll add the trailing stop component into the thing, and so that'll be good. So that's basically what I wanted to run you through on my thoughts about. I've dying to create, because honestly, it is. I enjoy it, but it is incredibly both mentally and physically stressful to sit here and just sort of bang away every 5 seconds at the opportunity. By the way, you know what? So let me hang on a second. Let me launch the charts. We might as well do a little bit of live chatting. I just want to take a little bit of time here today to discuss this, and then we'll take a look at. Then I want to take a look at the OOs, which has also been a very, very good. What the hell is going on here? It's been a good strategy and really working super well for me. Okay, where's the NDX here? So the NDX, right? I actually, let me get bigger here. Do I? Trying to see this. Okay, what I need here, I mean, this is too far stretched out. This is really, really too far stretched out. So what I'm looking, what I'm going to wait for here, the other great scalp trend, and this, by the way, is just I've been trading this really, really well. Is it requires a little bit of patience, but when it comes in, it's just such a great trade. Is the trend curve trade. We want the thing to come into the trend curve, maybe even a little bit further, ideally, maybe 70s, 80s, see if we can hold it, and then fail. Now, right now, there's so much volatility. So I'm actually going to put a sell mode into this thing at this point, because we're close enough. We touched the shorter trend curve. In the perfect world, I'd love for it to be somewhere in between. But we've had such a strong move that we may have just a very, very shallow retrace. I mean, this is effectively a retrace trade off of strong momentums that generally produces pretty good probability payoffs for us. This may be a little too early, so I could get my head handed to me if I get a burst back into the trend, because I'm kind of going a little early. But it's worth a shot here as a scalp idea for us. Let's see, and it's definitely coming down. So I got 6-7 seconds. Actually, want to change it to 5. Let's see if we can do this. It takes me into the trade. It gets me out of the trade. I mean, that was it. It was that simple. I don't know if you guys traded. I mean, it was good. It's definitely good for 5 or 6. But that's the thing. The beauty of the tool is it sets us up and lets us execute, right off the bat. Hey, Connie, did you set that up or no? Or was that too fast for you? And this was a little. The only reason I was willing to take it is because we had such a strong sell-off that this was the only retrace signal that we had, and I felt it was going to be strong. Now I really have to be patient, and if we get a move, I really want the move inside the trend, and I want the move to fail inside the trend before I even initiate any additional sell moves. Oh, you didn't set it to 5? I set it to 5. I always set it to 5. Oh, I'm sorry. You did? Really? And it didn't do you? Wow, because it went all the way. Let's see what the close is. 33s, and the low was 22s. It was 10. Wow, it must have they must have really spread you out. Huh. Oh, I see. You okay. Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, uh, always with these things, we have to kind of pre-plan and be quick because a lot of them are going to be super, super fast. Um, Even if, the Dow is kind of following the same thing. The German is sort of following. So right now we actually have three indices, all of them slowly but surely making their way into the trend zone, and we can wait and see if when and how it may be a trade for us. Do want to be pretty patient. In a perfect world, I'd love for the thing to go through the deeper moving average, the 26 one, and then fail afterwards, because that tends to be usually a pretty good spot to position yourself. But that is just a bread and butter trade that you can do pretty well uh, almost every day at the 10 11. Then the other thing I was going to say is, we haven't talked about this, but this is continues to work and work and work and work and work, and needs just there are certain trades, in my opinion, that are just completely part of the repertoire, and that's the Asia session trade. Let me just sort of show you how well this works. Let me see if I can I go back on this? I think I can go like this. I'm gonna go like this. So where is Asia session? What time is this now? It's 17 hours, 1700. So that means, what time is it now for me? It's 10. So that means that's 9 hours ahead. So 18 plus 9. The hell is 18 plus 9 would be 20, it'd be 4, 3 in the morning. So I guess it would be 3 in the morning. Let's see if I can find. I'm just, because I have to adjust for this particular um, this particular. Okay, so 3 in the morning. So this is the end. This is it, right? So this is the end. So yeah. So here is. I think I can do lines. How do you do lines on? I guess we'll do horizontal lines here. Here's the high. I don't know. Sorry. Why am I struggling on this? I'm sorry, guys. Let me just do this on trading view. That was kind of stupid. Sorry. Let me show this to you on trading view. So let's go to trading view, actual New York hours, and let me show this to you. Okay. So yeah. So here we are. And we are looking, remember, we're looking to, so this was 1807. What was this? This was, did that give me 81? Friday, yesterday, and I wasn't around. Maybe that's why I didn't notice it. So the low here, I guess, was over here, was this, right? This was the mark that was low. We're looking for the price to close through the lows. It would be this candle. It didn't have much, because it was such a sharp candle already. Didn't have much of an extension. So this didn't really break the move as much as I wanted it to break the lows. And then, but I do remember that when we started going up, it really started. Yeah. So if you look at the other way around, sorry, let me orient myself. So this is 18. So this was the high. Yeah, this was it. Alt H. So this was the high that broke the other way around, and that high definitely had some continuity. It definitely had some continuity a little bit up. I think the volatility last couple of. I think the key thing with the Asia session breakout, that either. Ooh, let me hang on a second. I'm watching the charts here. Let's go back and look and see if we got trade setups here. Um, I'd like it to be, I'm looking, I mean, I'd like it to, this is not, I want it to go deeper. I think I have to be more conservative here. I want it to go deeper. So the German kind of failed over here. I guess the German is something that we could give a shot to. So I'm going to go short German here on a 5. Let's see if the failure of the German here, which you guys know how much I love the German, will kind of give us a retrace trade that may work. So we traded through the red, came back down. I'm shorting here, just looking for 5. Let's see if the German will give it to me. The Dow is not quite reaching the red, but starting to fail. Again, I'm watching this, and actually, what I can do with a Dow is we can go into the sell mode, and just the next sell candle that fails on a Dow will be a pretty good entry for us for a possibility of a sell. So let's watch this for a sec. "26, 25 seconds. It's still a lot of time. May not even be a sell candle. The other thing is, sorry. So the other thing that I'm going to have Daniel doing, and Dougie's working on this too, is candle strength. Remember, I want the sell candle to be at minimum 50% to the direction of the move. So if it's a short, it's got to be no more than 50% off the low. And if it's a long, it's got to be no more than 50% off the high, which, by the way, actually, as I was looking at this, now as I say, my rules probably would not have, what's the high here? What's the high low on this thing? It's 49.36. It closes at 43. It really needs to be, should have closed at around 40. So this was really not a great candle. It looks like, as usual, the German is going to screw me royally. So this was not a great entry. However, now we have, and this is where it gets interesting. I'm going to kill the German because I don't want to deal with it. Now we have either a true turn or finally like a really great failure, because this is something that everybody's going to, oh, it's a great turn, but it's actually, when you're seeing it, it's still a negative trend. It's just a big short squeeze in this zone, right? So now I can actually do a sell mode in here also, and see if we get a sell candle. Now, if the moving averages begin to close, like one more candle up will close a down moving average, then the whole trade is truly a turn trade, and I don't really want to trade it. But if they still stay open, that would tell me that this was a short squeeze, and I kind of want to get short on this retrace trade through the trend zone. And again, I'm operating right now by feel, because I don't have the candle strength filter, which requires me to be at least 50% to the lows or 50% to the highs. Right now, obviously to the lows on the reds, because I'm trying to get short on this thing. So Dow actually is failing a little bit. NAS is still holding bits. So let's see what the Dow does for us. Okay, so now I'm short Dow, and let's see if my vision works today. Man, I hate these spreads, but nothing I can do about it. Okay, we'll just have to be patient, and it should work. There we go. So you see how the whole thing. This was a textbook short trade, because candle was like 90% to the low, right? We took a nice small slice. It could have really gone further. It was effectively a sell, not a buy. Everybody's looking like it's a breakout, but it's not, because trends are still down, and it gave us a chance. Now NDX, I guess NDX puts me in that. This is not a great trade, but I'll stay with it just to see if it kind of resolves, because NDX is so volatile. Because the close here, let's see if it kind of resolves for me. I'll give myself, the close here is, I don't think 50% to the low. Maybe it is, The close was 98, the low was 94. Maybe it is 50% the low. This is a very, very weird looking candle because it's really it's almost not a red candle. It's kind of a doji candle, but it's still kind of close to the lead. I think we have a reasonable chance here to make 5 on the NAS. Let's see if this will take us down a little bit. And we'll just take 3 because I'm not loving this trade, but I think it'll give us fully 5 as it starts. Yeah, it should be able to give those of you who hung in there, got the full 5. Again, not as good a trade as the Dow, but still very much that little sequence of taking profits, and now it's obviously really coming in. If I had patience, it would have really worked. So anybody caught those, by the way? Anybody trade those? I'm actually curious. Now, what I was going to say is, had I been patient and thoughtful, or had I had my applet working for me, we would have seen that the German actually had the correct entry over here. This would have been a great entry for the German. That would have been a 5 points in the German. So it was just poor execution. Again, strategy is great. We need to just be ironclad in our execution. That's what makes the key to this whole thing. And now we're starting to come back a little bit into the move. And now, by the way, so this gets interesting. So this is already the 3rd signal. So remember, we don't really trade the 3rd signals, but for shits and giggles, by 3rd signal, I mean this is a 3rd reversal signal in the NAS, right? So for shits and giggles, since we only want to take the first break, we can try. This would be a break, right? Remember, this is takes out the low. The high does not touch the moving average. So if it closes here, we can try and see if this is going to be a true move to the downside. I'm just curious. We'll play this. Sell. Oh no, wait a minute. I'm early. Sorry, I'm not paying attention. I sold a little too early. This was, let me see if all right, not great execution, but I sold too early. All right, I'm going to have to do 2 things here. Again, just managing myself very badly here. Again, because I don't have, where's my thing? Oh, this one. 5? Okay. Did this thing go fully 5? Maybe not. And I'm going to take I'm going to take 2. Just trading this very badly because I got the execution right. And remember, this was just this was a fun trade. But again, the principle, we have signal. It's a 3rd signal, so not as good. The algo, I would not have the algo take this signal. But if this was the 1st signal in a move, it would have been a pretty decent signal. And there's not, there's a reasonable chance, maybe not an 80% chance, but there may be like a 65% chance that this still gives us like a plus 15 move, which I actually think it might, but it's just not as high a caliber trade as something that fails right over here, that gives us super easy access right over here, right into this trade, right down to the move. This is the Dow, by the way. Good job. You got 3 on the NAS. You got 5 on the NAS. Cheryl, good job, guys. So just putting everything together for you guys. The reversal trades inside the trend channel, the reference trades done in the most specific manner that gives the highest probability entries, and then eventually the ability to run this as an algo really creates nice possibilities. So I want to take right now, we don't have, I'm just looking at this right now, everything is tied. Right now, really the only trade to make, and this is the other thing, you kind of have to mentally get yourself comfortable with. There may be more downside. Yes, maybe there's still some more pukey sentiment to the downside, but that is not where the odds are. That's not where the probabilities are. And if you want to press trades now, you're entering into lower and lower quality probability trades. The only time they would work is just in a one-way relentless market, which is very rare. So the thing you need to do right now is just walk away from the screen, assuming you're not nursing this little trade and just for fun to see if it extends. And you have to really wait until we recalibrate to the other side, until they build a base, start building a trade to the upside. And if we get that, then we can start looking for the upside wave of sentiment, which is very unlikely to happen in the next half hour. It may be something that's going to take like an hour for them to rebuild the upside wave. Because right now, obviously, markets are trading very much off of super big spike in the bond yields. There's still a huge amount of negative sentiment. There's still a lot of sellers over here. And what we need to do for us to trade is for all the sellers to be done and some short covering to come in, so that the late sellers can get squeezed and we get momentum the other way. All right, is that clear to everybody? So we can take a little bit of a pause now, because our best setups are done for the 10 to 11. By the way, isn't it much better? I mean, I know it's a little awkward time, and I know it's kind of maybe a little bit, although for you guys on the West Coast, it's better time. But isn't it much better to trade 10 to 11 on live, because so many of the setups are pristine? Like, we're not, like, notice how few forced trades I had today. And once I get, and by the way, look at this, the NAS is confirming, this failure over here, and it is actually working as a move. So because the opening rotation kind of really creates too much noise, and then we get continuation of trend that's much cleaner to see, right? Cheryl says better for her for sure. I just think this is the money hour. This is the money hour. It's the 10 to 11 hour, when you have lots of participation, but not so much confusion as you have in the first half hour, that you can get distinct trend direction, which is really what we're looking for, distinct trend direction. Look at this frigging German. The German just worked so well to the downside on a proper setup. So, German goes down. NASDAQ, from where we were over here, we came in, what was that? That was like around 52. The NASDAQ low here was 29. So really like 20 points, full 20 points of continuation move here, which you could have milked. So great. I mean, this is why I love the reverse signals. The reverse signals, even in their third or fourth iteration of the trend, can be, especially in a powerful downtrend, can be very great signals. And that's why the reverse, the pure reverse algo is going to be such a valuable arsenal for us. But for now, we got nothing. So I want to back away from this for a second. Let's take a look at FX, because FX is a whole other thing. And this is let me hang on. Let me do the run for the OOs. By the way, I updated. No, I did not update. I thought I updated this. What the fuck? I thought I did this. Maybe this is my old one. Anyways, I think the run for the O's that I gave you guys, I updated the settings so that they are. Just bear with me a sec, guys. Let me do this. I want to go indicators, significant levels. Yeah, okay. This is just the old computer. I updated them to 50-50 inherently, so that it makes them so much easier. I completely missed the Euro trade today, because again, all of this setup is born for algo trading, just born for algo trading, because it requires pretty tight monitoring even on an hourly basis. But look at the Euro. Boom, boom. Thank you, ma'am. Super easy. The yen. I wonder if my yen got finally done. I've been nursing. No, not yet. This trade I've been nursing for 2 days. What's the difference between trading trading indices and trading FX. In indices, my trades last 1 to 5 minutes. In FX, my trades last 1 to 5 days. The same 10 pips that I'm trying to make. So right now, I've been holding this OO trade for literally 2 days, and it's finally crawling over there. I think I may just close this out manually because I literally have 18. So just close it out at 18. So this is amazing. I got to show you. Let me see if I can show you the. I can't do the full screenshot. Hang on, let me go weak. I wonder if I can do the screenshot. No, I can't. It's just too many rows here. But wow. So actually, so again, this is tiny. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I think I'm not kidding you. I think I have 14 out of 15 winners over here. 14 out of 15 winners on the O's. That's not to be expected, but just such a great strategy across all these multiple pairs, especially if you do the hourly, where you really where it gives you lots of confidence that the trade holds, and you obviously do the hourly during the 0200 to 1400 hours when you have the highest liquidity. So this was what I come in on the yen. I actually, for the Asia session trades, I will cheat sometimes, so that means yen and Kiwi and Aussie. I may come in during Asia session, but if you didn't have to, you could have come in again at the 2 o'clock hour here and achieved the same results. I had Euro Pound yesterday. Look at the Euro Pound. This was a trade I had yesterday at 6 o'clock in the morning. Again, it took forever, like a day and a half to resolve for 20 points, but it resolves, right? It resolves beautifully, right down to the move. What else I had? I had Pound Cat. Did I have Pound Cat? No, that was yesterday. Did I have Pound Aussie? Maybe it was Pound Kiwi. I forgot what the hell I had today. Oh, let me double check. I have it over here. Sorry. No, it was Pound Cat. I had Pound Cat. Why did I have Pound Cat today? Why did I trade Pound Cat? Oh, oh, that's interesting. Oh, I shouldn't have traded this because this was not a trade. I think I wasn't even looking at the indicator because it didn't have enough momentum to the upside. Like it actually right now, if this closes up, that's going to be a legitimate buy trade. So we need, if Pound Cat comes in on an hourly basis through the 77s, that's going to be a legitimate buy trade for me. But just wanted to show you. Good job, Connie. Good job on the DAX. Just wanted to show you that there's a FX complement to what we do, which is a lot easier to manage and is much slower, and obviously we can do smaller sizes, lots of variables. But I love it. I mean, it's literally been just a massive last couple of weeks, just been a massive win, and it's all because, again, the rules of entry are refined, and the more you refine the rules of entry, the higher probability of success. The higher probability of success, the better, the more robust your strategy becomes, because as long as the strategy is basically wrapping around the proper money management that have the highest probability of hitting the probability of success, of hitting the win-lose ratio that's in a positive zone, right? That's really what it is. Strategy is all about running the money management overlay on it, and the trade itself is all about the very selective rules you want for its value. So in this particular case, this is a 50-50 structure. What this says is the candle can't be more than 50 pips, and it's got to come from at least 50 points of movement. You got to have at least 50 points of momentum, and the candle itself can't be so frigging huge that it's 50 points. That almost all the profit is already put into the candle. If you can avoid those two criteria, which most of the time, of course, you do, you have the very reasonable ability to make 20 pips. And what I've been doing is I've actually been making 20 pips from market entry. So if it comes in at 6 or 7 or 8, I'm coming in at that point and just looking for 20 pips forward. we might be able to design a variant, probably will design a variant where it just simply says, okay, if it's like 20 pips in the money on the close, then come back and put a limit order, let it come down to like plus 10, buy it there. Don't chase it on market, buy it on a limit and let that go, which will create another level of discipline for the algo to trade well. But just, the very, as I said, the very essence of the move, that when we take out the OOs in FX, there is some continuation almost always. If you're looking at this chart, there's literally continuation on every single break, right? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Sometimes it's herky, sometimes it's jerky, sometimes it takes a while, but when you're talking about 5 with 0 negative occurrences, those are the odds that I really like. I mean, that's not emblematic, but that's what I like. So that's all I got to say to you guys today. Should we look at indices to see where we stand? We're not staying, we're still pretty much very much in a sell mode, right? So this is the second wave of the sell mode. If we look at the NAS, as I said, we're not, we're chasing the downtrend now, right? There's no point in trading reversals, because reversals are a sucker game. Everybody loves to buy this bottom. Maybe there's 5 points, maybe there's 10 points. There's also a possibility 20 to the downside for the final gasp, right? Reversals are just really, really stupid trades to trade. So we just now sit and just wait and see if we can consolidate, if we get any kind of a trend reversal semblance. If we don't, if this just simply comes together and then resumes a downtrend, then we treat that as a fresh downtrend. But for now, there's nothing much to do. Markets have exhausted their first, the first act is done, and you have to be just patient enough to wait for the next act. So any final questions, any thoughts on your mind, guys? Anything else you want to do? Those of you guys who are watching, who's watching? Somebody's asking me, how do we use this applet, right, on MT4? So this is, again, I'm just showing you for a demo. This is not a trade, so don't follow me. People are asking me, how do we use this applet? So if I'm gonna close it off, session XT, you obviously have to use MT4. Just say okay. It's just make the defaults. Make sure auto trading, this piece over here is green. If this is red, it's not gonna work. Now, if you want to just buy, sell at market, you hit the big numbers. I'm going to buy here, close it over here if I want to. I'm going to sell here, close it over here if I want to. Okay, that's just buy, sell at market. If I want my buy, sell mode, I put the bullet. What is this called? Oh man, now I'm having a senior moment. I forgot what this thing is called. Man, what is that element called? It's not a checkbox. It is a, whatever. You choose the buy sell element. What that will do is it'll put you in a mode where you need to have, if you're on the buy side, if I'm going to put a buy side, what that's going to require is sell candle prior, buy candle now. If you get that combo of sell buy combo, it's going to put you into a mode. Let's just actually play this. Let's just for fun play this, because it's going to trigger us into a trade. So now it triggers us into a trade. And we can modify our stops and targets dynamically. So we can make this 5, and boom, the reversal trade worked. See, the one time I don't try to make the reversal trade works perfectly. But that's that's the buy sell mode. And then if we go into the close mode, this will actually put a pending order only if the price closes above the level or closes below the level. It'll be a buyer if it closes above a certain level. It'll be a seller if it closes below the level. So those are the 3 functionalities of this thing. And we're going to create one more filter for this thing. We have a volatility filter already inside of it. So you can look at the thing. Volatility filter set to 0 means it has no volatility. It means that it'll take any trade. But if you set the volatility filter to, like, say 80%, what that will say is, okay, if your stop is 20, then if the candle itself is 16 or more, we're not going to trade it, because that means almost all the profit is in the candle itself. So I don't trade with volatility filter when I'm scalping, because I'm just doing a lot of this benignly. But I do it. But I do use the volatility filter on the algo on the reversal only algo because I don't want to be chasing a candle that is super, super, super large. But then we'll add one more thing, which I call candle strength, and that will only enter trades if, like, for example, see this buy candle? This buy candle was 80% to the high, right? Like it closed 80% to the high or 90% to the high. We want to make sure that we're not buying something that maybe this is a buy candle, but it's only like 20% to the high. It closed over here. This was the high. Because what we're looking for inherently is buyers dominating or sellers dominating, that they're holding the highs because they're trying to push prices further. And we want to join that move further, to the upside. So the candle strength component is going to be another part of what we're going to do. Okay, so that's all I got to say. Anybody else? Anybody got questions? Are we all good? I'm glad everybody made a little bit of money today. Jonathan, did you scalp today? And who's new here? Who absolutely feel free to participate, guys. There are a lot of people here who are very, very quiet. That I know are just simply observing. But if you have any questions, feel free to ask me, because that's what I'm here for. So the good news is we got Friday trades tomorrow, 10 to 11. Should be this our first 10 to 11 Friday. We'll see, if the golden hour works for us tomorrow. And I'll keep you guys abreast on everything else. Just trying to think. Oh, the fly. Message me for the fly reversal if you guys want the pure reversal, which I really like. Sorry, let me get this out of here. Let me get rid of the drawings and let me get big. I really this if you want to look at the setup in its purest form, forget the continuation signals. They are all they do is muddy up the picture, and they're you don't want to be seduced by the continuation pictures. But the reversal signals are really, 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 really good. In this case, however, by the way, here's the reversal signal. If we use the buy sell mode, would have clipped us out. It was just, like you saw this. When you have such a huge, in a perfect world, you want the reversal signal early, and you want the trend to be kind of budding. You don't want like a vertical move and then getting reversal signals like these reversal signals I was completely ignoring because it was such a massive move here that is setting ourselves up for a possible full unwind. So you got to be careful. And like in this particular case, the great reversal signal, the really proper one was right over here. Was this one? This was the right trade to do. Because this was the failure. Remember, we talked about this is the failure of the big moving average, but we also had the reversal signal. So if you put yourself into buy sell mode, into a sell mode over here, you'd have gotten right into the trade. And that's how I'm going to have the algo run as it proceeds. But there's just like you cannot automate this away, right? The opening day, the opening range moves like this. The algo isn't going to know that it's a huge sell-off or a small sell-off. It's you're going to have to manage this pieces of it, the opening day pieces of it manually. Otherwise, it's going to put you into trades that probably will basically what I call bottom trades, where it's just going to stop you out. Or conversely, you can just go into the close mode. The close mode would basically force you to only sell through the lows. In this case, the close mode wouldn't work. The close mode over here would work, would put you into the trade, and that's at least the right trade to start. So there's only we'll have the flexibility to trade it lots of different ways. But as I said, there's no perfect signature. There's no way to avoid all bad scenarios, but there's a way to just optimize as many good scenarios as possible for highest probability trades. We'll see how the rest of the day goes, but the pre-day move, as long as we have generally big swings that are relatively well definable, this setup works like gold. You know, as long as it catches the move relatively early in the trend, early here, you know, um, early here, you have the extension potential for that 20, 15, 20 points to the downside, which is what you, or upside, whichever way you want to trade it, which is what you're looking for. So hopefully you guys will really like this. I really, maybe I'm wrong, but this feels to me very bottomy, right? This is like the third or the fourth reversal signal in the move. If we kind of hold around the 1360 for 15, 20 minutes, they're going to want to try to turn it. They're going to want to run it through the 1300s, and maybe turn the trend. We'll see. There's a lot of negative things. I mean, the 10-year yield is just, it's ridiculous. We're up 10 basis points. This is so negative. It's actually a miracle the market isn't off more, given at how strong a spike in yields this has been. So, looking to the buy side, it may not be a smart thing today, but whatever buy moves we have, we're going to wait. We're going to be patient for them and wait for them. So that's it. All right, guys. Thank you so much. I'll see everybody. Tomorrow. I'll post this up in a little bit. Okay. Take care.